All right, welcome back. First Dirty 30 pod this year. I think this is season five doing this, which is kind of nuts to think about. But yeah, just it's me and then new year, new me. What's up, Kyle? How we doing, buddy?
We're doing well. Ready for the new year here in fantasy football. It's the dog days of summer were really long, and I'm very excited that the new season is upon us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been ready, man. I've been like busy, all right? Busy this summer. So like I feel like fantasy football's kind of like snuck up on me a little bit, but 10 days out from the draft. We it was a doozy trying to pick a draft day this year. Lots of back and forth, lots of Google forms to be filled out, but we got there. We're at it next Thursday. How are we feeling about draft day, buddy?
I like it. I think that there's this is like the first year where there's a lot of top end talent in the draft, and I really
Hmm.
think the first few rounds are going to be a lot of fun because there's going to be some good players falling.
Dude, hell yeah. Yep. Yep. Like, yeah, we actually have a first round. We actually like might even have like a second round, right? Of like quality players that might actually like fit there, maybe even a little bit into the third even. So yeah, looking good. It's kind of like finally like evened out. I feel like the talent pool. A lot of players like went back this year, Puka and
Hmm.
Achan and all that good stuff. All kind of went back this year and we're getting after it. So we're just hopefully going to have two pods kind of before the draft. This one is our annual top 20 keepers list. So Kyle and I both kind of ranked the top 20 keepers and went from there. And hopefully next week we'll do our mock of the first round. Those are always the
Nice.
two like preseason ones that I'm kind of looking forward to. So yeah, we'll kind of get after that. So let's jump right into it. Let me try to share my screen. We'll try to pull up the docket here. Uh, should be good. You seen that all right, Kyle?
Yep.
Cool. Kind of go up here. I asked Kyle this week to provide the like what are like three things that kind of stand out? What are three things that are kind of on your brain here, right? So we did our top 20 keepers list. Why don't I kind of hand it over to you, buddy, and let's kind of talk about like where you started, what are some things that are kind of up on your brain? Yeah, what's going on with this top 20 keepers list?
Yeah, we can start with the keepers.
For sure.
Um, I think kind of started going top down. So I thought JSN was easy. Bowers was up
Hmm.
there. And then it
Hmm.
was kind of, well, actually, Olave, Brown, and Ladd to me were kind of clear top five, I
Yep.
kind of thought, in my opinion.
Yep. Yep.
And then I kind of bunched together some positions and then moved them around.
Sure. Sure.
Went off of
Well,
that. But
I yeah, I have a similar. I have a similar like top three, top four. Right? I got a lot of it. I did kind of sneak Bucky into my top five, and I'm just a believer where maybe you're. Oh, I mean he's your top seven, right? I guess we can't really argue too much about Bucky too much there, but yeah, we've got similar top five there, for sure, for
yeah, then
sure.
I think the next kind of observation with this list would be you're much higher on Loveland and Warren than I am.
Yeah, yeah. It was hard to kind of like tell where to put them on my end, right? I do think tight end's going to be kind of interesting this year, right? Of like there's so many tight ends being kept, right? Bowers is being kept, Loveland, Warren, all consensus top four keepers, right? All being kept pretty late, right? So I do think there's like a positional value of those top four, right? A positional advantage, right? But yeah, I struggled of like where to put them, right? I've always been throw tight ends back kind of guy, right? And like doing this list, I looked at it and I was like, gosh, I think I'd put them kind of right there, right around like 9, 10. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. And then I
Yeah,
was kind of the opposite.
tell me your point of view.
Um, so like for me, the reason Bowers was two and Warren and Loveland are what 17 and 16 is
Mm,
I think Bowers legitimately could be like wide receiver six on the year. I
yep,
think that dude has the skill set to just take games over and just do ridiculous things like a la Antonio Gates and Travis Kelce back in the heyday.
yep.
Like those two dudes were worth the keeper in the 13th round. I'm just not sold that Loveland and Warren have top 10, top 12 wide receiver upside. So
Hmm.
in that point, that's where it's like, well, how much are they scoring more than tight end five, tight end six? I don't see it being 60 points.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
where I thought they kind of were ranked lower on my list. But we did have both have Loveland above Warren.
Yeah, and even that, I felt like, gosh, like I don't know if that's right either, right? I don't know, in my opinion, right? It was just like I you might have swayed me. I think maybe I should have had them a little bit further, right? Maybe like redoing this list, I'd probably put them, gosh, probably past McConkey, maybe ahead of Tootin, maybe. I
There
just
you
kind
go.
of lower them a little bit on my list there. You're right. They got outscored, tight end five by yeah, 40 points, right? 60 points. And it could happen, right? Like Loveland had some awesome moments in the playoffs, right? Warren was sweet when Daniel Jones was healthy, right? And like
Hmm.
also it might not happen, right? The guy who, yeah, drafts Harold Fannin and Harold Fannin goes off this year, like is also going to be pretty stoked, right? So yeah,
Yeah,
I hear you, man. I hear you.
I would agree. It
What
is kind of
else?
funny too, like how we both had or yeah, I guess you were low on Rome and Burden like I was as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, Burton, I think it's just the injury thing for me, right? I maybe would have had him a few more spots up, right? Like Craig's right? He's a round 12 guy, right? So if he doesn't pan out, like not the end of the world, I guess. But I think it's the injury thing, missing a bunch of camp, right? Like I probably would have had him a little bit more in like the Tootin range, I guess, right? If he were healthy, but yeah, I think like my bottom five for me was pretty stuck. My top five was pretty stuck. My bottom five being like I think Jameson, Odunze, Burden, Hampton, and then Higgins were pretty like cemented. I kind of played with the middle a little bit here and there, right? And I think if people want to argue about the middle part, I kind of get that, right? But Jaden Higgins, I don't think Christian ends up keeping him, right? I think like he he ends up making that trade, right? Like let's assume
I think
it's
he got hurt in camp today.
did he? Yeah, I didn't even catch that, right? Like let's assume it's Caleb. Let's assume it's someone else, right? Kind of going into next Thursday. Hampton was the one I wanted to talk a little bit about. Little surprised that you had him as low as me, but like I'm curious, like what had him so low for you?
Just the if you're keeping him in round three, you're assuming he finishes top four at the position. Like
Yeah.
other than that, you can get him in round, I mean, I guess 3.5, and he's right in the
Mm,
middle when he drafts,
yep.
or two and
Yeah.
a half. Like there's not much true value there.
Yep.
And in a keeper league, like you need to have valuable keepers, and I just don't think there's too much value when it comes to that.
Yep, that was exactly my point. I think he's, yeah, going off the board like, yeah, to 20 something, right? I think it was like four or five like picks of value when you look at like ADP was kind of like what I looked at, right? And yeah, it's just, I think he's going to have a great year. I do. I think he's going to be pretty solid, but yeah, you're baking that in,
Hmm.
you're needing that to happen at this point, right? So yeah, that's
I
kind of
think
where I
Keaton
had
Mitchell's
him.
got a chance to steal some carries this year
For sure. For sure. Yep.
too,
A
so
lot
that
of
also
buzz.
makes
A
that a
lot of
little
buzz.
more risky.
A lot of buzz with Keaton Mitchell for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I was low on Scatabo and Tootin as well.
Yep. Yeah. I can see that. I can see that. Anything else? Lad is kind of a big difference in our rankings. He was a hard one for me, right? Like once again, kind of that middle round, right? Like if you want to have McConkey all the way up to like Judkins on my list, right? I'm not going to argue too much about it, I guess, right? Like,
Yeah.
they're both round nine keepers that you're gonna play every week, right? You're just gonna play every week. So I think I favored a little bit more running back heavy well, I don't know if than your
Is
list.
that a surprise for this league for you to favor running backs?
It should not be. It should not
No.
be at this point.
Okay.
Right. I think if you're getting like a RB2 in, a later round, right? Like that's an awesome keeper. Like so Judkins
Mm.
was pretty high, right? Scattaboo, ETN, like Two, no, I struggle with just with like I just don't know, right?
Mhm.
I just don't know, but could be, you tell me he's a top five keeper going into next year, right? Like also not surprised by that either, So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and then you think Rice is just hurt, or the prison stint wasn't the greatest for him, or you got him pretty low too?
I do. Yeah, I don't know. He's just never been like my favorite player, to be honest with you. I think, right? I think he's just kind of a gadgety player, not really like a
Okay.
solid wide receiver, but like it plays, right? It plays, right? And coming off the injury, yeah, who knows, right? Like once again, I don't know. Can you keep him another, or has he been kept? Is this his second
See,
year?
I
Okay.
keep him another year as well.
Yeah. So once again, he's a top five keeper going into next year, right? Like I wouldn't be surprised at all. But yeah, just too many things kind of going against him, I guess.
Well,
And
that's
I
fair.
just a player I just don't really enjoy watching, I guess. So just a disdain thing more than anything.
It's your
Uh,
Kyron Williams for
it
depth.
is, man. It is. It is. You got to have a guy like that or two. Looking at it, who has like decent keepers, who has bad keepers, anyone kind of like really stand out? We were talking a little bit beforehand. It kind of like looks like everyone has like one on like the top half and kind of one on like the bottom half for the most part too. Anyone kind of stand out in really either direction?
Who's
Trying to
it's Bucky
remember.
and who for Derek? Oh, Scatabo. Scatabo.
Scatterboo. Derek was going to be the one where he's got some pretty good keepers in my opinion, right? Two kind of late round running backs that even if they're RB2s, RB3s on his list, right? Like those that's pretty solid. 11th round and ninth round for Scatterboo,
Yeah.
Derek was someone I was going to highlight. Obviously like Marcus, right? Like your opinion of Lad, right? Like Bowers and Lad is nice.
Mhm.
Um, my list, I obviously I like the keepers that I have going into next year with Judkins and ETN. Um, yeah,
Yeah, no, I think everyone's kind of got one good one and kind of one middle of the road one.
one that could go either way. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
more of a coin flip. I mean, obviously,
hmm
let's call out Christian. He's got two kind of low ones. I mean, if two
Who
people
is
have good
Christian?
ones,
Why can't I think
Jameson
of
and Higgins.
JMO? Yeah, JMO. Yeah. Yep. That's true. That's true. Yeah, Christian's on the lower end there. Yep.
So,
Yep. Yeah,
but
excited to
yeah,
see who it is instead of Higgins. There's no way I'm going into next Thursday with Higgins on that board.
I would agree.
Sounds good, buddy. Was it easy list? Was it a hard list? What did you think about this year?
Uh Mine is kind of like you said, like the top five or four were pretty easy, and then the bottom
Mhm.
few I thought were pretty easy, but the
Mhm.
middle was really hard to justify
Yeah,
where I went with it.
yeah,
You
yeah,
could persuade me either way.
for sure, man, for sure. It's a lot of like new keepers this year too, which is kind of fun. A lot of
Hmm.
not a lot of people being kept for like the second year. Only a handful of them. That kind of stand out there. So that'll be fun. We'll
I
see
would
kind of
agree.
going into the next year who all stays keepers and who all kind of changes. So cool, cool. Well, sounds good, buddy. I appreciate you kind of jumping on and doing this with me. Yeah, next week we'll hopefully try to get a couple more pod members on and kind of predict the first round. So that's always a good time to look at it, look at the board, mess with some people's heads, right? Nonetheless, so all that good stuff. So,
Of course.
all right, buddy. Catch you next time.
All right,
Appreciate it.
sounds good. Have a good one.
Later, man.